Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. Alright, so Greg found some vintage fishing gear, like some very early low profile baitcasters. Probably from the early 80s, somewhere around there. Probably from the 80s anyway. I can't tell exactly when they were made, but that's what today's video is. We're gonna go out with some antique vintage rods and vintage reels and catch fish on them just to see how different they are from modern day gear. So why do you have to stop for so long before you turn? But yeah, so not entirely sure where we're gonna fish. We gotta find somewhere where the water's cleared up a little bit, because there was so much rain the last few days that everything's like muddy and murky and just ugly right now. The water levels have gone back down to normal, so we'll see what we can find or figure out. So, well, let's get to it. Alright, so this is what I'm using. It's an old Abu Garcia Ambassador, or the French Ambassadeur Pro Plus, on a Kmart Sport Fisher 5.5 foot rod. These crazy eyelets that are just like loops of metal. So what do you got, Greg?
Also got Abu Garcia.
Is it an Ambassador?
Yes, sir.
Or is it a Cardinal?
It's an Ambassador.
Ambassador.
It's a septical rod. I think it's 5.5 foot too. With pistol grip.
Pistol grip with the engraving. That grip just doesn't match the rest of the rod, man. I'm convinced that somebody added it on. They might have, because look at the end there. They might have added that grip to that rod.
Yeah, but let's get with it though.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like an Abu Ambassador grip. And I'm throwing a jig with the grub tail, and Greg's gonna throw his chomper.
With the red flakes. Texas rig.
Get out there. It looks clean too. There's not a lot of algae on the bottom. Let's see what happens. Oh wow. I actually cast it weightless. I was not expecting to be able to do that. I might actually catch something now. I mean, that wasn't nearly as far as I could cast it on a spinning rod, but that was pretty good for this. Got one. There we go. Need to tighten up my drag some. There we go, Greg. Yep. Probably 3/4 of a pound. He's kind of skinny, but he's about 12 inches long. What's that? Actually, he hit it as soon as it hit the water. There we go. On the antique gear. It's not a bad fish. I mean, for this pond, we call this the dink pond, because they usually don't get very big in here, but every once in a while they'll be like a 2-pounder. But most of them are about that size. About might be a little heavier than mine. Looks fatter.
There's at least a pound.
Yeah. Actually, he's a little bit longer than mine too.
Oh man.
Let me try your spot. I mean, the reel appears to be performing about as good as you could expect it to. It needs to be cleaned up really good and oiled and greased. But other than that, it's doing pretty well. The rod, just, I have no leverage because it cuts off right here at my wrist when it should be to my elbow. And it's super flimsy, which, considering the rod that I'm using, the flimsy is actually helping me cast. But if I had a better one with better leverage, I could use it. It could stand to be stiffer. Oh, there we go. Is he on? No, he let it go. Pulled it down off the hook, so I'm gonna say that was a sunfish. Okay, got one. Oh, he came off. Man. So I just had one there. You probably saw him come flying up out of the water when I set the hook. But when he settled back down into the water, he came off. So that would have been fish number 2. It looked like it was just a green sunfish though. Decent sized green sunfish, but not a bass. Good one? It's a little better than the last couple.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's about, they're all about the same length, but that one looks a little healthier.
Yeah, I think that last one's fatter. I caught.
Was he?
It's still a nice fish. Late October.
Does it count as late October or mid-October?
Nah, I guess more mid.
Late mid?
Late mid. Mid lake. Mid.
Good hook set on it too, instead of like mine being hooked in the bottom lip. Alright, so it is the next day. We just ran out of time yesterday. It got dark on us. I landed a bass and lost something. It might have been a small bass, but it's probably a green sunfish. And Greg landed 2 bass. But I don't feel like that was enough. I want to keep using this gear. Try to make a video out of. So we're going somewhere else today. It's a place we don't go to very often. It's been a while since we've been there. We did go once a couple months ago. And yeah, hopefully we'll be able to get into something. It's really going to test out those rods though if we do. So yeah, let's get into it. Whoa. Might have to put your rods down and use the tree to climb up.
Yeah. Surprised you got up here by yourself.
It wasn't so bad once you put the rods down. Man, those are some big hoof prints.
Probably pigs.
Yeah, they're the round, like half circle ones.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had one take it there. Oh, and he came back for it again and I still missed him.
There you go.
You got him? Bastard, that's my fish. Something big, even bigger, splashed up. Sunfish. That's a big sunfish.
Sunfish.
Yeah.
Whoop.
That's, what the hell kind of sunfish is that? That looks like a bass.
Damn it. No.
That's like some kind of hybrid.
Probably is. It's a grain though.
Yeah. On the vintage rod and reel. What the hell? Like the reel is actually working perfectly fine, but for some reason it's just not going anywhere off the end of the rod. Like maybe the eyelets are slowing it down or something.
So you don't got a twist?
Yeah. The eyelet on the end is like broken, so it might catch something. All right, well there you go. Greg caught a handful of fish on his. I only caught one and lost a handful more. The reel towards the end there started working really well. Like all the dirt and rust and everything, I guess, got knocked loose. So after a couple of days using it, it was working perfectly fine. So I'm thinking about just putting that, there's nothing wrong with that reel, so I'm thinking about just putting it on another rod, on a regular full-size, full-length bait casting rod. And I think it would work a lot better than something with just such a short handle and no backbone to it, so it's hard to get hook sets. So if I put it on a regular rod, I think it would work a lot better. So if you guys want to see that in a video, let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time.